Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beavermosh, and today I am talking to you about Das Libre Dekret from the Munich-based Todesstoß, and this is coming off of I Voidhanger Records. Now, Todesstoß, I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not a German speaker, but this band has been around for over 20 years, but this is their first record in 7. What we get with it now is a decidedly strange, unconventional, just plain oddball take on black metal. And if you like your music a bit more, I shouldn't say a bit, if you like your music quite on the experimental side, please keep watching. The music is not for everyone, but if you give it a try, I know some of you will find it as intriguing and enticing as I do. I am equally as confused by this record as I am completely enamored by it. Anti-Robotit has this mechanical-like intro, almost feels krautrock-like in its composition with this cycling guitar style and these machine-like drums, while the vocals just bellow out freakishly in the distance. The mixing on this album I have to talk about right away. It's so interesting, so different. The vocals seem to come in and out of volume. The drums are so hot in the mix, while the guitars kind of get pushed back as almost like this foundation. But actually forget what I just said, because they switch that dynamic at will. It seems that the mastering has no rule of uniformity throughout this record. They change it when they want. It creates this altered, kaleidoscopic sense of reality for the listener. Everything is distinctly odd about this record, but yet in just a few minutes, I'm already completely fixated about everything here that most albums can't seem to do for me that quickly. I describe music as hypnotic quite a bit, but here, describing it as hypnotic feels almost literal. Tanz der Tassenmasken has these honky, whimsical riffs with these bizarre bells sounding on top of it. It's silly almost, while still being distinctly heavy. The percussion has this aloof march to it, while the vocals give off these detached chants. It's almost as if Todesstoß is simulating this absence of consciousness here. I know, by the way I've described this album so far, I've probably lost some of you already. This is not a standard black metal album at all. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but all the oddball moments, all the off-kilter passages feel so calculated, and I enjoy every moment of it thoroughly. The bass work is bonkers, really pops out, is very pronounced, almost the most noticeable thing sometimes. And while it is totally in sync with the rest of the instruments, it isn't matching always. It doesn't seem to care about the logic or the intensity of the other instruments. It's very symbolic of the unreal levels of freedom this artist is expressing on this record. Ihr Geblitzeiten features these haunting, alluring melodies that wrap themselves around these dark synth wave type drums, and it leads itself to these jagged chords and staccato whispered vocals. It all feels very inspired by classic industrial music, in my opinion, and it gradually builds into this cacophony of wicked soundscapes and heavy metal surrealism. On Greiser Welt im, the vocals get extremely violent and vicious, but they are contrasted by these operatic sung vocals that are actually quite beautiful. But with the savage downstrums kind of underneath that, it's actually the most noisy and savage and grating part of the whole album. You get these swirling black metal riffs that are just ferocious, dark, ceremonial, and wicked as all hell. Pair it with these maniacal laughs in the background. It's scary shit. And I gotta mention the band's use of electronics. Very well done. It's subtle, doesn't overdo it, but when they are used, it adds so much texture to the music. Galusmis is the main centerpiece of the record, a 23-minute track that starts as this dark ambient piece with these possessed vocals and scratchy guitar effects. It's unsettling. It reminds me of something you might hear on like a Can or a Faust record. The guitars take on a more doomy direction, slow, dreadful riffs, very unnerving in its chord progression, its rhythm. Everything about it just feels paranoid. It eventually just morphs into utter chaos. Big brash guitars, propulsive drumming, and vocals that are like growled performance art. It is so unreal and uninviting and challenging in the best way possible. It's a 23-minute track that doesn't feel that way at all. It just guides you into this other realm and you kind of lose track of time listening to it. You just get lost. This is by far the weirdest black metal album I've heard all year, and it also might be one of my favorites. This is a record that rewards patience. It brings you into this surreal, alien, abstract world and reveals more and more to you as you sit with it. If you like artists like Vedbuen Zende or Dat Heimsgaard or like a Ranzi Pazuzu, I think this is a record you're going to at least want to check out. Like I said, it might not be for everyone, but at least it's going to be for some people. It's definitely my cup of tea. I love the hell out of this record, and I have to recommend it. So those are my thoughts. If you like this video, if you like what I do, hit the like button. It means the world to me. If you consider subscribing, leave a comment. I love getting to engage with those. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. Thank you to my patron to keep the channel running. No pressure to give that way, but if you do want to join my Patreon, I put exclusive content there every week. You watching right now, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh, signing off.